It just yelled at me because we're starting early.
Nice.
All right, so it's on. So what's up?
Same old stuff. Just wrenching on stuff, finishing work. Typical.
So what's next?
Next, Wisconsin, Scotty's race.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it looks like he's gotten into everything pretty good. He actually ran. Did you see he ran out in California?
No, I did not.
He ran the A-Scale Nationals with Joel and all those guys and Robert Morris from KO and all them.
Really?
Well, yeah, I think he finished third in Masters.
Come on, really? Good. Yeah. Congrats to Scotty.
Yeah.
That's good. It's nice to see him out racing instead of just promoting and putting races on.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. So after that one, where are you off to?
Well, I'm heading to Wisconsin this weekend to check out the surface because they have a test like a practice race.
Okay.
Which is cool. I mean, it's like 6 hours, 7 hours for me. So I'll go check it out. And then after that, the following weekend's their big race. And we'll see how we do there. And then after that, I was thinking about going to Topeka, but there's just so many big races going on right now. I don't know. I just think Topeka is going to be another Vegas, where there was no shutdown.
Okay.
I'm just not happy with the situation for Topeka for myself while there's other races going on that I can be at. It's expensive to travel to all these races. And
oh, yeah.
There's so many going on now. I can pick and choose which ones I want to go to. I think there's going to be some good competition in Topeka, and a lot of fast people from the West Coast will be there.
Is that concrete or asphalt?
It's asphalt, sealed asphalt, which isn't a bad surface. I mean, I've raced on sealed asphalt before, and it's fast.
Okay.
But there's a bunch of cracks in the track that they're running on, and I think that's going to upset the really fast cars quite a bit.
Okay.
So if I'm going to travel 12, 15 hours for a race, I want to go somewhere where we could throw some big power down and have some fun,
Yeah, I hear you. Run some good numbers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just get everybody at their best,
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. I mean, we put all this time and effort into dialing these things in to make them as fast as we can. Why go somewhere and run slow,
Yeah. So how fast have you run now?
A couple weeks back, we went 176 at 82, I think it was.
Okay. Yeah. I thought I've seen some of yours with 84. It wasn't on your quickest run, though?
That might have been some texts.
Oh, okay. Oops.
But yeah, I mean, asphalt, I've known asphalt has been faster than concrete. We test on concrete a lot, especially with the tire preps. Before the tire preps came out, I'd say maybe concrete had a little advantage, but now with all the different sauces out and everything, the asphalt's so smooth, it's fast, man. I can't wait to start running more on asphalt because I've been dialing in on concrete for the past like 8-9 months,
Yeah.
So now we're just starting to play on asphalt again, and I've got so much stuff I want to test. Asphalt's fast. It's going to be fun.
Nice. So where do you think the holdback point is on going even faster? You think it's off the line, mid track, prep end?
I mean, I think it's electronics and batteries right now.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think speed controls need a little more work, but we're getting closer. Tires, I think tires are fairly capable right now.
Okay.
I think it's mostly going to be the ESC and being limited to two cell. I can see some 90-mile-an-hour passes in the future for sure, with what we have now with more fine tuning. But starting next year, I don't know, man. The sky's the limit for this stuff.
My bet.
Yeah, we've talked. And it's realistic. It's coming.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you keep creeping up on it a half a tenth or a quarter of a tenth here and there. So
we'll be there before the end of summer.
I asked for a peach tea and I got a box.
We got to see what's in that box.
I don't get boxes very much anymore.
Hopefully that changes soon.
All the Christmas in July or Christmas and whatever for me is slowed down a lot.
Yeah. They got everyone all interested now. What's in the box?
It's built. Check that out.
Oh, snap.
know what that means?
Yep.
I'm gonna be one of those other suckers in your chats asking how to go fast.
Nah. You'll be just fine.
Check that out.
What you got there?
I have no idea.
Anything
what is
good?
this thing? You can tell me. What is this thing?
5.7 Aero, man. Baddest car on the market. Good. It's a good start.
All right. Looks like I got tie rods. That should be good enough for me, right?
Yeah. You might want to get some RC Speed Secrets tie rods on there.
Yeah. That'll be good enough for who it's for. Nice.
Looks
See, and
good.
I thought I was gonna have to steal a set of tires from you to check this out.
Whatever you need, man.
Guess I'm gonna have to order a body to paint.
There you go. There you go. Still a lot of summer left.
Oh yeah. That's cool. That's cool. That's a good start.
Awesome, man. Glad to see one in your hands finally. Because we know that no racing stuff's just bullshit.
I won't race like I did before. That's for sure. I'll still drive again at some point, and I'll play around. But there's no way I'll do what I did before. That took up just way too much time. And you'll learn. You know, how old's Ace now?
I know.
How old's Ace?
3.
3. See, that's different though, because if he's got hair or cobwebs or something flying around me.
Damn cats.
Yeah. But I mean, as he gets older, I mean, granted, if he's into the racing stuff, that'll make like everything way easier for you. But
for sure,
for me with the hockey stuff and that,
yeah,
I mean, I think while you guys are traveling to go to races for that, I'm going to be starting off the year in October in Dallas.
Yep.
You know, that's their first tournament. So, but
kids come first, man.
Oh yeah. So I had my fun for all those years. So.
No doubt. You've had enough fun for 10 people with this hobby.
Yeah, probably. So we'll get back to the drag racing stuff in a minute. I gotta ask, how's the green monster? Is that thing still kicking around, or where is it?
It is. I'm looking at it right now in my backyard.
Really?
Yep, it is. Covered up, sleeping, waiting for the kids to give me more time back to my life and get it going again.
So a lot of people probably don't realize that you had me drive that crazy thing.
Yeah.
So we got to at least tell our swim test story.
Oh boy. Who almost drowned? Was it you or me?
It was me.
You?
Well, I didn't drown or almost drown, but
I remember it was tough. It was tough. Yeah, we had to take the swim test before the offshore races. We had to make sure if you get tossed out of the boat and someone's unconscious, you can help them, the best you can. So they make you swim with the other driver on your back, like dragging them through the Olympic-sized pool, both directions.
Yeah.
After that, I was ready to just go home and go to sleep. I didn't want to race anymore.
So the backstory for everybody watching with that one is Frank and I go to Tawas for this first race. I don't know about Frank, but I had no freaking clue what I was doing. Like, we had gone out and driven that boat a little bit. He tried to.
Okay, we got to go even further back. The reason I asked you to drive the boat is because I know you're a racer, and real racers pick up on shit fast. Okay, so and you did. I took you out in it, just playing around on the lake, and you had no problem driving it. You know.
No, I almost broke my nose the first day with it.
So. Yeah. If anything got too out of control, I had the throttle and the trim, so I wasn't gonna let it get out of control.
I can tell you right now that I don't know if you remember, but the first impression I had of that thing is you went clipping across the lake, and we hit like the first kind of set of waves where like some other boat had crossed in front of us, and we hit, and the boat comes up in the air. And what do I do like a dumbass? I start sitting up in the seat trying to look like over the nose, like where we're landing. We hit the water, and I just came forward and about smashed my face on the steering wheel. And all I remember was this, forward. And you right away throttled back. You're like, you all right? It totally like knocked the wind out of me. I like collapsed myself up. I'm like, I need a second. So
well, that was pretty good because the first race you drove in was East Tawas, and that water was ridiculous. We had like 5-6 birds out there during that race.
Dude, I can't believe we didn't bounce off of each other. Remember that kid that knocked himself out and almost rolled out of the boat?
Yep. Yeah.
So
wild stuff.
So it was like this one really tight, like 150-degree corner, and Frank and I just sent it in on the outside of some dude, and he had like a flat bottom boat that wouldn't stick. So this guy tried to not go wide and crash into us, and we kind of pinched him. And yeah, and his boat like stepped out, and as he stepped out, his head came forward and smashed into his steering column, bent his column down, bent the steering wheel, knocked himself out, and about rolled out the side of the boat. I just remember coming off that corner, looking back like, oh shit, that dude's knocked out.
Racing's not offshore boat racing isn't the safest sport.
No. Okay, but back to the swim test. So the first race we went to, they basically informed us that they hold boat races to drink. It's not really the boat race. It's just more of a reason to go drink.
Oh shit, I forgot about the night before the race.
So the night before we were obliterated. Now we didn't realize what the swim test was. So we get to the pool and okay, you guys, what was it, 2 laps down and back or something?
Yeah, before we had to drag each other.
Right. So we jumped in and Frank takes off like a rocket across this pool. And I'm thinking, oh, shit. So I'm doing my best to keep up with Frank. We did one, down, back. As we're coming back to the end, Frank starts slowing down a little bit, but he's got like half a pool lead on me. And I'm starting to doggy paddle. The divers are all swimming up alongside me, and Frank gets to the end, and I can kind of see this look of disappointment, like, don't drown on me, you asshole. We got a race tomorrow.
I was looking for another driver.
So I get to the end of the pool, and divers are like, you okay? Yeah, I'm trying not to puke in the pool. We were so hungover. It was so fun.
You were worse than I was. You weren't used to that lifestyle yet.
No.
Like, I'd raced before, so like I knew what I was getting myself into.
Yeah, it was bad.
I don't think you were ready for all that.
On top of that, I assumed we were going to use our own helmets and life jackets. We didn't hear like 1970s stuff. As soon as that helmet got wet, it was like a 50-pound helmet. Like, it's already heavy enough. I got a big cranium.
Like a bobblehead.
Yeah, it wasn't a buoy, man. I was going to sink to the bottom. That was like a cement shoes on your head. It was crazy.
That was fun though.
Yeah.
And it only took us like we won like was it the second race or the third race?
Third.
That season, yeah. I think we broke the other 2, and then we won the third.
Yeah. No, it was good fun. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
I will say this much: that after the first time driving that thing, I came home and started working out. Like,
you have to,
because
like it's exhausting.
Yeah, just trying to hold yourself in that thing, because there's people don't realize there's no seatbelt. So if it rolls over, like you want to get away from it.
Out of an open canopy boat.
Yeah. So like you had to like plant your feet in the bulkhead and the outside wall and hold your ass on. So
you're exhausted. It's very physically exhausting.
Yeah, but it was interesting. It was a lot of fun that summer.
Absolutely, man.
So when are you gonna get it back in the water?
I don't know. We'll see. I might throw it in next summer. I got to put a motor in it. Motor sitting in the garage on the floor. Had it freshened up and just never put it back in yet.
Nice. Same one or something different?
Same one, but a little bigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pull bigger props?
Bigger what?
Bigger props?
No, same prop.
Pull bigger props?
Same props? Had the heads gone through and made it from a 540 to a 565.
Okay.
Good. More cubic inch.
So it'll run 95, 100 now.
No. Maybe low 90s.
Really?
I think it run like upper 80s when we raced it.
Really? I thought you said it would run around 90s.
Yeah, close. Now it'll be a solid 90 plus.
Okay. That'll be fun.
Oh yeah. It doesn't sound like fast on the water, but when you're racing going 80 through corners, on an oval, it's fast.
Yeah. Well, that's how I remember even when we were out testing and you were letting me get used to it. My aunt and uncle in there, they were at, well, not Jabby Nooner, but that area. Mm-hmm. And, they were laughing next family function. Like, And we're sitting there on the boat, and you just hear this, this boat comes flying by, like, oh, look at these assholes. And then you come pull it. Yeah, I pulled up, was like waving to my Aunt Sarah.
Yeah.
It's like, what the? It's you? You're the asshole on the boat? Yes, ma'am. That
obnoxious.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What's the biggest thing, getting back to the drag racing stuff, what's the biggest thing you think you've learned so far that's made such a big difference to go from skating around or just a lot of little stuff? Or
man, there's not one thing, you know. I mean, it's this type of racing, it happens so fast, and there's so many variables of things that can happen in such a short time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's everything, you know. It's the whole car. It's your tires, it's your motors, it's your speed control, it's your steering, how that's set up. I mean, it's your shocks, you know, your wheelie bar height, your body, the way you mount it. It's just batteries, you know. It's, you can't pinpoint one thing that'll make or break the car, you know.
Gotcha.
Just, if one thing's off, the whole thing sucks.
I know the first thing I would be doing, I'd have way too much steering in it.
Yeah, like back when I raced oval,
probably not even think about it and set it. And
yeah, I was barely able to make the turn, you know, so I'm used to not a whole lot of steering. And
yeah, but
for on-road stuff, you always had to have a lot of steering and fast steering. The first thing I do is get rid of all that. You know, it's the less you steer the car, the better.
Yeah.
There's times I don't even touch the wheel, like pull the trigger and keep your hand near the wheel in case you need it, you know, just so you don't touch it on accident. You know, let the car do what it does. You know, it's not much driving to it, really. Just you got to cut a good light, and that's about it. You know, everything's technical, which I've always enjoyed, even with the oval cars and stuff. You know,
yeah,
I like making the cars perfect and making them work right and perform good. And it's not a whole lot of driving to it, which is probably good now that I'm older. I'd probably suck at driving now.
Nah, I'm sure you're still fine. Come on, Joel was leading the A-Scale Nationals.
He's seen
us covered by some years.
I seen that.
Trust me, it's still there. Still there.
Yeah, but
I'm reading. Can you see the comments on the side here?
No, no, I can't. Nope.
Oh, they're just really small. Are you on your phone?
Yeah, on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got them on the monitor so I can see like us and then this other list. So we got like 35 people on here or so.
Nice.
And let's see.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Ryan Weeks, I am not scraping, and there will be no scraping of any drag bodies. You can go stab yourself with your scraper spoon.
No, that doesn't make big of a difference with the drag stuff. You know, you need some rigidity because they're going so fast. If they're that thin, they're just going to buckle, even if you brace them, you know.
Yeah.
And I've noticed the center of gravity is pretty important, but not important like it was an oval.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're going in a straight line. It means a little, but not a lot.
Gotcha.
Or maybe it means a lot, but just nothing like we're used to, especially riding with the oval cars, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Let's see who else is on here. Eric Schultz says, "Oh shit! I thought you had an interview with Silent Bob there for a second." I think he's making fun of your beard there.
That's all right.
It's
I've
the COVID thing.
Working so hard on this RC stuff, I haven't had time to shave.
I was gonna say it's that and being at home for work. I was laughing. I talked to Bobby Flack, and it looked like Encino Man, like he hadn't shaved in years. So then the next time we did another one of these, he's all clean shaven, a haircut, the whole 9 yards.
Nah.
So that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So
Dustin just sent me a picture of like 12 sets of tires that he's got to glue.
For what?
The drag stuff.
Why?
I don't know why he needs 12 sets, but
I say those can't all be for him. Make somebody else mount them.
Maybe he's sending me some. I don't have to glue some.
There you go.
Yeah, but I mean the drag stuff's awesome. You know, it's really cool. I mean, it's different than what you and I are used to racing. You know.
Well, I noticed that from hanging out that one day. It was a lot. It's a lot more like pre-work, but then once you're there, you're really just hanging out and some small adjustments, and you got what you got type of thing.
At the big races, when there's more time between the races, there's a little more like I'll scale the car between runs and stuff like that.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. Local stuff, you just run it and re-hit the stick and run it again. Big races, you'll double check, triple check everything. So a little
Yeah.
more maintenance, but not bad at all.
Gotcha.
Unless you get there and your car sucks, and then you got to thrash to make it work. But
Yeah. Yeah, but I think you're probably a little bit beyond that point, unless something gets torn up in practice.
I don't know, man. You never know with this stuff because every surface is so different. I mean, I've got a couple base setups and tune-ups that'll get down like literally anything. Um, but sometimes I'll misjudge the surface. Like I did in Tulsa, I tried to throw a high horsepower setup at it right off the bat, and
Okay.
broke two cars in practice.
Oh wow.
The track had some like washboard bumps in it,
Okay.
and I had my car set up a little too light for the track, so it hit them bumps and want to just like do weird shit. It would
Okay.
launch or to hook on me. So I had to raise the car up a little bit and add 200 grams on it to get it down the track. So
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, but once I did that, it was dialed the rest of the weekend. I mean, it was good. I just
Okay.
couldn't put down as much power as I'd hoped, but now I know for next time. I mean, I'm still just learning this stuff.
Yeah.
You were one of the first people I called when I first got into it last summer. I was like, all right, dude, I don't even know how to build a transmission. Tell me something.
Yeah, and I'm
I'm
totally
still learning too.
I'm totally guessing. I mean, and that's the worst part with like me looking at this stuff is first thing I see is I want to try this and this and this and like
Yeah.
so much. I mean, there's just a laundry list of stuff that would be interesting just
Yep.
just to see what it does.
Yeah, for sure.
It may not matter, maybe a total waste of time, but it'd be interesting.
Some of it, but some of it makes a difference. A lot of your experience will carry over.
Yeah. Dustin says he can send me a car that's actually drivable next time.
We can make that one drivable.
Yeah, there's some stuff missing on it. That's all right.
I got whatever you need.
Yeah. Like I said, good enough for who it's for.
Yeah. Get it going.
Dustin's Bill Osborne says he wants to hear from the fast one.
Oh, she's chasing kids around.
How many
I got
times
a wrench on her stuff, and she chases kids around, and I wrench on her stuff, so it's a good deal.
How many times has she beaten you now?
A couple times.
She looks
I
like
gotta
she's
keep her honest though, so sometimes I gotta like under gear her or take a little timing out of her.
I was gonna say, it looks like she catches lights really good.
She does. She's pretty good on the lights. She just needs more experience is all with the driving,
Yeah.
She hasn't been in too many like high pressure situations yet racing, so
Okay.
you know how that goes. The more you do it, the better you are with the pressure.
Yeah.
And
You have to learn how to screw up a couple times and what not to do and that kind of stuff.
But she's starting to wrench on her own stuff now and all that. So
that's cool.
Like we go to a race and I don't really have to help her at all. She knows the whole routine.
Nice.
Like doing her own tires, doing her batteries, double checking the car, making sure everything's right. If the car's pulling one way or the other, she knows how to fix it. So,
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it a lot easier.
Oh, for sure. Like before, I'd have to take care of both cars, and it was a lot, But now that she's more self-sufficient at the track, it's a lot easier, And also, it's like having a teammate with me and an extra car to test stuff on.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a big advantage. When we were down in Kentucky a couple weeks ago, she ran the same class I did, and we were playing around with some different tire stuff, and we figured something out, between the two of us. And having two cars, to test, two racers, it's
that always makes
testing you get, and you can try all kinds of stuff,
Yeah, that always makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
Big difference.
Yep.
So what about Ace? So he started running a little bit.
Oh man, yeah, he's a monster. His first win was against Zubak in the finals. But yeah, I mean, I'm not pushing him into racing.
I would have loved to have seen that.
Race. I have a pretty badass 13.5 car for him to go. Like when he's at the track and he's just playing around. I don't bug him about racing, but he'll come up to me sometimes and be like, "I want to race." I'm like, "All right, cool." If he's interested, I drop all my shit and go help him.
Yeah, that's good.
If he's showing interest, if I catch him on a day where he's showing interest, he's so focused and everything. He's super excited to race and everything. It's cool to see how interested he is in it. At 3 years old, it's pretty like when he raced Zubak after the race, he was jumping up and down like he just won like the World Series or something. You know, it was the coolest moment I've ever had. You know, it's to see him so excited about something was super cool, and being that it was racing is just over the top.
Yeah. You gotta start teaching him to talk smack to Zubak.
Oh, he did. I had to tell him to stop because before he was going into first round, and he went over to Zubak's pit like across the cul-de-sac, and he's like, "I'm gonna whoop your butt today," to Zubak. And Zubak's like, "Get out of here, heathen!" You know. So I'm like, "Stop! You can't do that."
Oh, that's great. I'm gonna start teaching him one-liners if I'm out there around you guys. Hey, go tell this guy this.
I don't know where he gets it. I think he gets it from his mom. She talks a lot of shit. So.
Hey, you've never been much of a shit talker when it comes to that kind of stuff.
No, I let the cars do the talking.
Yeah, that's too funny. Yeah. Oh man, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. I already trash talking Zubak at 3. It's not like Zubak just back for anything.
It was everybody. I was like, leave everybody alone. Somebody called his RC car. He was playing around. He's got this little buggy that he plays with like between rounds and stuff. And someone's like, "Oh, I like your toy." He's like, "It's not a toy, it's a race car." I was like, "Okay."
So he's serious. He's already into it. He's ready.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with him.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's hungry.
That's pretty good. He's going to Wisconsin with you guys, or?
I think so. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not racing or anything, but just causing havoc in the pits.
Gotcha. Pop's going and everything? The whole crew?
So, yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I think everyone's going to go.
Awesome. That'll be a lot of fun.
Lindsay's racing too, so that'll be good. We'll have another car to get data from. So
Jake Scooby says, that was me on the toy. I messed up. He set me straight.
I think, it was, wasn't it, Jake? Yeah. Yeah, but he was dead serious about it. I'm like, oh man, poor Jake. Sorry, Jake.
Putnam. It only took Ulbrik's genetics 3 years to grow into a racer who trailers Zubak. That's outstanding.
Zubak's good people, man. He was up here testing with me last night a little bit by my house. He's putting in work.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's actually practicing, trying to run fast.
Yep, he's putting in work. So this 13.5 car is looking legit.
Well, that's good.
Yep.
Until Ace pulls his off the trailer and kicks his ass.
Yeah, you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Can't let the kid go out with subpar stuff.
No, for sure not. I gotta say though, I give props to you because I tried taking my kids just to like the slot car track and some stuff.
Oh man!
And after like 30 minutes, I wanted to kill them. I told my wife, I'm like, they're not racing. Like, I'm gonna kill them. Like, I can't handle this.
Every few times I have everybody at the track and I'm testing or something, I'm like, this shit's got to stop. I'm going by myself next time, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. I mean, Lindsay takes care of the kids while I'm like seriously testing, you know.
Yeah.
So she has it under control. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah. It's too funny. All right, so who is there like a consistent group that you have to worry about trying to race at every race, or is it pretty much just everybody? It's always different depending on who stuff's working on the day.
That's it, pretty much. I mean,
so no one's kind of.
You've got your consistently fast guys that you know are going to be trouble anywhere you go.
Yeah.
But I mean, local tracks, you got a lot of fast locals at local tracks. If you go out of town to race, you know, everybody's getting fast. There's a lot of cars that are 1.9s right now, you know?
Okay.
So it's getting pretty serious. You know, there's a lot of cars running really fast. So you never really know who's gonna be the guy that day, you know. And anything could happen with this stuff. It's racing, and like I said, so much happens so fast.
Yeah.
It's easy to go red. You know, I've red lit before on instant green. You know, you just got the nerves going, and you're trying to cut a good light, and you know, I mean, anything could happen. But like I said, I'm still new. Give me a couple years, and I'll have things down pat.
I think you're probably already pretty quick. It's just like you said, getting more of the racing knowledge, especially which you're going to pick up fast with all the places you're traveling to and going to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's priceless, traveling to all the different places we have the past year. We've been to so many different states racing. And every track's different. I mean, every group race is different. Every timing system's different. Every light's different. It's just the more you experience, the more well-rounded of a racer you'll be, and the more you'll be able to adapt to anything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident I go anywhere, any track right now and get down it, fast. And that's from traveling,
Yeah.
I spent all last winter traveling. Even when it was snowing here, we were everywhere, down south. And that kind of stuff's priceless. You need to get out and get the experience at different places.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that was one of the hard things once, once I started racing more, and especially, granted, totally different, but going overseas or some of that stuff, that's when you're kind of like, oh, I have no clue what I'm doing over here. Like, this is going to take a while to figure out. So I could definitely see it between the different surfaces and everything like that. It's not like,
and then once you go
all the same it's not like it's all the same carpet just in 50 different states. It's
and like your overseas trips, you go there and look at how much you learn from going there. So if you go there again, you know what you're in for. Or if you go someplace similar, I mean, you've got information from being there that you can use and apply to something else.
Yeah. Very cool.
So that's like a lot of people send me a message about tunes, hey, what should I gear? What kind of tune should I start with? It's like every track I go to, I mean, even the same track in different weather conditions is a different tune.
Yeah.
So it's like, here's a base where I would start, if I had no idea what the track liked, and you're going to have to go from there. I mean, it's just like, for example, Lindsay's car and my car, we can put the same motor in them. They'll want slightly different tunes for some reason.
And when you mean tune, you don't mean like a rotor change or any of that, just a slightly different, like timing and gear.
Yeah, timing and gear. Yep. Yeah. Speed control, timing, where you're bringing it in, what the car's going to accept, Gotcha. Typical stuff, like you build two 12-scale cars, they're not going to act exactly the same when you first put them on the track.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Interesting. So when you're running, say you do, the thing does light up, what's the direction you generally go with, with the tune? Are you taking timing out and gearing up, trying to mellow it? I mean, that's what I would have done.
It depends back in the day with the tires. I mean, if it takes off good, then it blows the tires off at half track, you're changing where you bring the boost in at.
Yeah.
Or you're lengthening your ramp so it comes in more progressive, but you might put some curve into your radio to make it launch harder to compensate for it. It's crazy how similar this stuff is to the big cars.
Okay. So it's almost like
with like a progressive nitrous kit. I mean,
So you're almost and this kind of gets back to one of the most important things I think people don't realize when you get to high level racing. You kind of need to test each item in like isolation to understand how much of a change it does.
One change at a time.
Either be a genius and remember it all, or write down and take some notes on it.
I have,
and then later you can use combinations of I'm going to do this with this to get this to be able to get down the track faster. And that's the biggest thing we're experiencing.
I have so many notebooks full just from this past year of racing already that I don't even want to look through them because it's hard to find what the hell I'm looking for. It's just, it's crazy, and that the notes are your best friend. I mean, you go to one track and learn something, you better write it down so you can utilize it at another track.
Yeah. Man, that's probably the biggest thing I don't think people realize is they see somebody's setup and they want the whole setup. But the problem is
it's going to go slow.
Yeah, the problem is
the track I'm at.
Yeah, the problem is you have to learn each item in kind of in isolation.
Yep.
This adjustment does X, this one does Z, this one does Y, whatever.
Yep.
And then when you mash them all together, when you need to, when you go to a different track, that's where the gains and the time is made.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I think we could throw any tune at somebody and get them 2 O's, 2 1s. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But when you're running like 2 O's or 2 1s at like, say, 70 mile an hour, that's a wall, okay?
Yeah.
And then after that, if you want to go faster than that, 1.7s, 1.8s, 80 plus, I mean, it's the details that are involved with these things to do that are just insane. Like I've had my speed control settings where 2 degrees of turbo is like 4 mile an hour difference on the track because the motor's in the sweet spot or it's not.
Okay.
You know, so
it makes sense.
And only way to figure that out is testing.
Yeah.
And I've had like 2-3 of the same wind motors, all like different timing. You can set them all on an analyzer or whatnot, and then throw it in the car. One likes 10 degrees more than the other. And so you got to really know your equipment.
Yeah.
And find some motors you like. These motors last a while, so find something to get comfortable with it and spend time with it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially when you're running something like that where you're on such a fine edge of controlling your wheel spin and putting as much power down as you can, because I mean that's pretty much it. That's
it.
Your time. You know, so trying to optimize that. Malakote says his notebook is in my phone under Frank Ulbrik. I think that's cheating, Dustin. Do your damn homework.
Dustin, for some reason, his cars are always lined out right when we get to the track. I don't get it. Like, he'll let his stuff sit for 6 months and throw it on the track, and it's money. I throw mine out there. It's hooking left or right. I'm like, this bag of shit. I need to be on Dustin's programs with the routine of just leave stuff sitting on the shelf until the next.
See, that's the trick. So you just throw it on the shelf, and all the weight and everything, just all the arms and everything, just kind of bows and it just kind of sags into it.
The shock oil settles really good.
Yeah. You pump them up and messes the car all up. You just gotta let all that stuff just go to crap.
No, I think that just attests to how good the car is, man. It'll work with fresh shocks or old shocks. It don't matter.
Or tie rods.
That too.
Yeah, tie rods.
Yeah.
Have you tried that yet?
What's that?
Tie rods.
Tie rods.
Yeah.
Or
shocks. Why not?
Oh, you can't. In the rules, they gotta have travel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So somebody tried I'll just leave some race.
I'll just leave some slop in there.
It sucked.
I'll just use some slop in there. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you got any bumps or whatever, it's just gonna bounce all over the place. Maybe on a perfectly smooth track it would work if they change the rules, but they make stiff enough springs where you ain't gotta do that.
Yeah. I got some A-scale springs over here. We'll be fine. I'm sure I got some shocks from something that would fit on that in the meantime.
We'll get you dialed in, man.
That's pretty cool. So I see you got Corvette bodies that are pretty slammed. How many different bodies have you tried?
I think I've tried them all worth trying.
Really?
Yeah, I'd like to spend a little more time with the Firebird, the J-Con Firebird maybe. But I've tried it a couple times out in testing, and I just wasn't really comfortable with it. It seemed loose.
Okay.
So I think it might have the capabilities to go faster than the Vet if you're on a super, super bitey track.
Okay.
But I like my car to be comfortable and drive itself.
Probably just the front windshield making a lot of that.
Yeah.
All your center of pressure way forward on the car.
Yeah, and the center of the hood on the Firebird super bowed. Like a bow, you know? So it almost goes to the top of the roof. So there's like a straight line for the air just to go right to the rear spoiler.
Okay.
It's a pretty streamlined body if you really start looking at it.
Okay.
But I don't know if it has the rear bite for looser tracks.
Okay.
And that's all I've been playing on lately is like looser tracks. Trying to make sure we can go fast on looser tracks.
Makes sense.
And with all these tire sauces that are out now, there's so many options. I think you go fast on anything.
Okay.
As long as you blow it off. You go fast on sealed asphalt, concrete, it don't matter.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, because when I was out, you guys weren't really using anything.
No, I think we were
just burning tires.
Yeah.
What's that?
I think we were running dry tires then. We didn't start playing with the sauces and stuff until after you came and hung out.
Yeah, because I just remember you guys doing burnouts and going.
Yeah, nothing at all on the tires, just carpet burnout and concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But that works good too at certain tracks, you know. I mean, the sticky stuff works in most instances, but you'll come across a dirty track sometime where you'll just want to use something like wintergreen based, like Beetlejuice, and soak it in the tire. Then while you're on the track, don't do anything. You know, don't put any more sauces on it.
Yeah, because you don't want to just pick up the dust.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing like back in the day when we were running foams out on asphalt for 12 scale or 10 scale. You start running like Trinity Red Dot or something like that. Some tracks, it was amazing. And then other times, if it was windy or dusty, you're doing donuts right away. So then it was the
oil-based stuff.
Paragon, ground effects, maybe with
Yeah.
some suntan lotion or even a mix. We ran some races where like rear tires, we did a mix of Red Dot and Paragon just to get off the line at the beginning and stuff like that. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. But it's nice to have the options, I mean, you get on a decent track, the sticky stuff is incredible.
Yeah.
Like it's insane how much traction you can make. It's pretty wild.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
It's interesting to see how much that's taken off. From it's only been a year and a half, maybe 2, drag racing, and how quickly it's like exploded.
I think it's been around a couple of years. Like last year when I started in like July of last year or something.
Okay.
But I think it's been around a while on the West Coast, even up here. I mean, there's some guys that race around here. Adam and Andre and that whole group with the Michigan Drag Syndicate, they kind of started a lot of this drag stuff a few years ago too, with on the East Coast, at least on this side of the country. But I know like Tim Smith and Tyler Zavadell and those guys, they kind of got it rolling on the West Coast, maybe even longer ago than that. I think they were the original ones to start playing with the drag cars.
Gotcha. I just forgot what I was going to ask. Oh, so the big question, money racing. So do you think that's helped lead to the explosion in the drag stuff?
100%. I think that's why it's as big as it is.
So you think though, in like road course or an oval, if they did that everybody would just be beating each other's ass in the pits after races and things like that, or if it would actually be...
It's different with drag racing though, because big cars, I mean, big drag cars, there's a lot of money racing going on.
Yeah.
Like the shootouts and stuff. It's really relatable to the big scale stuff. Big scale stuff is all money. Even bracket racing's money, grudge racing's money, shootouts are money. Why wouldn't the RC drag cars be money?
Yeah, agree.
It's relative. But the only thing different is you make more money racing RC cars than you do big cars now. The pots are bigger and they're cheaper. So that's why this is so big. I mean, it's not even that people are making money. It's just the attraction, I think, is the money's there to be made. You can go to your local race, and if you get lucky and win, hey, that's a couple $100. It pays for your damn racing.
Yeah, it's not like
tires, whatever.
It's not like the on-road or off-road sides where you only have the groups of the small group of pro guys that are actually getting paid to be there, and that's not really available unless you've won a ton of stuff and you get those kind of contracts anyway. So and that's kind of non-existent on-road nowadays, at least here in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, the money isn't a big attraction to me. I like the competition, and I like that it's new. This form of RC racing is still kind of new.
Yeah,
and it's just super intriguing to me, and it's really difficult to figure out. It's challenging.
Yeah.
With so much going on in such a short period of time during the race, it's really challenging. I mean, one mistake and you lost.
Yeah.
I mean, if one thing isn't right on your car, it's not going to go straight. It's going to be slow.
That's even when I came and watched you guys run. Like, I'm not used to watching them, so you could make a pass and say what it was doing, because I think it's one of those things, the more you do it, it kind of brain kind of helps slow down everything a little bit more and you can process it, where I had to stand there with my phone and start super slow-moing stuff just to see what the car was doing on the track and be like, oh, okay, that's what's going on here.
I used to take slow-mo vids all the time of stuff, and then once I got comfortable with it and started getting a feel for the car and all that, now I just pull the trigger and I can feel what it's doing. If it's spinning at half track, I don't need a data log. I know it's spinning at half track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I think I have maybe a little advantage of that, because all the years I raced oval, I had a really good feel for the cars. I knew exactly what the car was doing. I knew what I needed to do to fix it. You get a feel as a driver.
Yeah.
Like a seat of the pants feel of what it's doing.
Yeah.
And I have that with the drag stuff, and I can watch a car and tell somebody what it's doing, or pull the trigger on my own, and I know what needs to be fixed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
that's really important, learning the car and getting a feel for stuff.
yeah, that's something that would definitely take me a little bit of time to get used to processing
It doesn't.
in that short a time span.
A couple months, month.
Yeah, well, that's still not just a drop and go type of thing.
Yeah.
It's still a time
Yep.
consumption that's going to have to be done. So
Yep.
that's very cool. Very, very cool.
No, it's fun stuff, man. I think it's going to stick around for a while. I mean, all the companies, you know, are just throwing product out there right now for this drag stuff, trying to keep it in stock. I mean, most companies can't keep up with the demand.
Yeah.
It's huge. I mean, you've got full scale racers interested in it. You've got people from all different types of RC interested.
Yeah.
You know, it's huge. You know,
Yeah.
and it's relatable. You don't have to go to the track to practice. You can go find a side street near your house and go test all you want. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a pretty big contribution of why it's so popular too.
I think that's the same type of thing. The way, you know, it's one thing I'm still kind of disappointed with, and it'd be curious to understand like the numbers of RC racers that are actually in it. Because, like, for example, I look at like the Live RC's, you know, statistics thing, you know, and seeing like, you know, 11,000 entries in a month, but that's like 6,000, 7,000 people.
Yeah.
I would be really curious, you know, to see if you added drag racing into that, like how big is drag racing, knowing the amount of cars like all these companies are constantly out of at this kind of a clip. Like,
Yeah.
is there more drag racing in the US now than normal
I would say
on-road
drag
racing?
racing's all the places I've been, everything you see on social media, I'd say drag racing right now is bigger than all RC combined.
It could be.
Or at least close. I mean, it's really close. You know, it's huge. There's thousands and thousands of people. There's thousands of different local race organizations, you know.
Yeah.
It's big, man.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. And I think it's maybe, you know, to the money side and some of that kind of point, maybe it's waking up some of these other guys that everybody's always looking for that magic rule or whatever. Well, let's change this rule. It's going to get 100 more guys at the track.
I think
I
the
don't think
lack of
that's
rules
it.
has helped it.
Yeah, I think it's just simple, basic,
It's
have
raw.
fun. Yeah, it's raw. Here's throw down some money, go race.
Yep.
I mean, that's.
And I don't even think it's all about the money. I mean, some people.
No,
Okay,
but I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, I think it helps.
Yes.
You know, it helps.
Yeah, everybody has like you said, if the track's bad or whatever, I mean, it kind of sets everybody at ground zero. It's not. It's not like, to give you an example, like from my perspective, it's not like I'm going to go to Snowbirds, so I got to go to Greenville for a week. Or the year I won Pro Mod, I went down and tested with Danny Stockman there and at King. You know, I went down there for 4 or 5 days to go test and practice, and I went to here to go test and practice. You know, I went. You had to put in so much time and effort to be like totally dialed in to go to that. Where this type of stuff, I mean, you're going and checking out the surfaces early, but I don't think that would be a massive difference for you to show up on race day.
No, it's not.
And do that. It's more of just a comfort thing.
Most asphalt is all really similar. You know, I mean, depending on the type of asphalt, if it's sealed asphalt, you're going to prep your tires on the same on 2 or 3 different sealed asphalts. If it's dry asphalt with no seal, you're going to prep your tires a certain way. If it's concrete, you're going to prep your tires a certain way. That's all that changes. I mean, on concrete, sometimes if it's bumpy, you'll soften the suspension up a little bit. If it's smooth, you can stiffen it up. I mean, if you see pictures of the tracker surface, you know, even if you don't see pictures of the tracker surface, I've been to races before where we were supposed to run on concrete. I get there, we're running on sealed asphalt, you know, and it took me like 2 practice hits to get it dialed in for the sealed asphalt.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not a big thing. Even when you're there, right when you see it, it's not like you got to spend 3 days rebuilding the car to set it up for that surface.
Yeah.
It's a 10-minute change, you know, and we're ready to go.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, as long as you have some experience racing on these surfaces, then you're good. But if you've been running on asphalt, your whole RC, you know, racing experience, and then you go to concrete, it might be a little different.
Yeah.
You know, because you haven't ran on it before. But I mean,
Yeah.
if you get out and race at a bunch of different local clubs with different surfaces,
Yeah.
you start getting tunes for everything.
Yeah. Yeah. The notebook grows and it gets a lot easier.
Yeah, you got a concrete notebook, you got an asphalt notebook.
Yeah. All right. I'm starting from which one? This one. Okay. Let's go. So that's why I don't think a lot of people look at it that way. They're kind of, but it's really, I think it's really cool to see just the size of it. I mean, again, anytime you start getting Scotty and all these guys involved, and there's this many people, and you're seeing these crazy amounts of entries at all these races, it's really really impressive to see. So,
Yep.
especially at a time where, like I said, I'm watching on the on-road side of things, and it's kind of getting quieter and going the other way, and a little bit more difficult for tracks and that to make it, other than a few. So,
yeah, RC's always went in cycles too.
Yes,
I mean,
very much.
Off-road's big, and then oval's big, then on-road's big. Then it comes full circle all the time. So I don't really know what the future is going to hold for any of it, but I think drag racing's crushing it right now.
Yeah. Would you ever think about running any of the other stuff again? Or is that just kind of like, nah, been there, done that?
I've wanted to go back and run some oval again, but it's like the turnouts aren't big enough to make it worth it. Like if there's a whole bunch of people, like when we were racing oval back in the day, the early 2000s, if it was like that still, heck yeah, dude, for sure. But I just don't see it, especially locally in the Midwest here.
Yeah, for here up in our area.
Maybe it's big down south, or maybe a lot of people still attend the big races, because I think snowbirds turnouts are usually pretty good still. But you don't hear a whole lot about the local and regional stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that's usually the group. I mean, really, the snowbirds is kind of dominated by the guys that are going to go to Greenville or King or those couple tracks and spend a lot of time and really put it in the diehards.
Yeah, they go to 5 or 6 races a year. That's it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I miss it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But
yeah, for sure.
I don't know. With how big drag racing is and how much of my time it takes up, I don't know if I'd have time.
And on top of that, it'd be a total shift in gears to try and make Lindsay and Ace and everybody transition over to doing that stuff too. Because now you're not going to just go race you to do that stuff. The rest of them are going to come too. So you're not going to be just shifting gears with one car. You're going to have the armada all fired up, ready to go.
Exactly. I'm spread thin, man. It's tough.
I was going to say that's the good thing about like you said, going to Scotty's to check out the place. His site for the weekend before.
Yeah,
it's not just about you.
I might just let Lindsay make a couple of hits. I just want to see how long the shutdown is.
Yeah, well, but that's what I mean, though.
Get it and make sure it's 250 plus, so I can stop.
Yeah.
If not, I'll just throw a weaker tune in it. But I mean, I hate doing that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
See, we got to work on that front brake kit and parachute and.
Man, you and I had a lot.
The Fred Flintstone foot stop. All that kind of stuff.
We've had a lot of discussions about that. Some of it and it works. I got the parachute ready to go, so we'll see.
Yeah, these guys probably don't know what we do. They also probably don't realize that we work together, kind of.
Yeah. Yep.
So Frank and I are both over at General Motors. He's in body structures.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I was in brakes, and now get to play with suspension. So that's what. As soon as we saw Vegas, I'm like, I'm making you some front brake calipers for a drag car. We're gonna stop that thing on its nose.
Yeah.
I was really mad when I saw Vegas. Like, how can it? This is like,
I
was so bummed.
It wasn't intentional, I mean, I think it's just majority of cars were running like 55 mile an hour.
Yeah.
They can stop in 100 foot. If you're running 75, 80, it takes longer. These cars are big and heavy, and it takes a while to slow them down.
Yeah, especially when you run 80 plus.
Yeah, and I mean, 250 foot of shutdown in Kentucky a couple weeks ago. It took me 249 to stop.
Oh, jeez.
So I mean, they're going fast. I mean, I could probably start stopping harder. But I don't know. Why put the ESCs through all that? And
yeah.
if I had to, I could. But
All right. So some of my guys are asking some questions here.
Yeah, shoot.
Uh, are traction compounds usually set at big races, or just a run what you brung, run what you want?
No, it's a run what you want.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. Philip asks, I'm curious, as somebody who quit oval racing in 2004 or so in Indiana, why do you feel oval declined so far? Is it RC in general?
Yeah, I think it's RC in general. I mean, for at least, I mean, the majority of kids got into video games and this and that, and there's not a whole lot of new racers coming in, and there's other things taking off. I mean, drones. You got drones. You got the drag cars now. You got dirt oval got really big again. Off road got huge. So I mean, I think a lot of people. Oval is hard to compete in. Oval, you had to put a lot of work in, just like this drag stuff in carpet oval to be competitive.
Yeah.
Like these late nights every single day. I mean, when I first started this drag racing, I wanted it to kind of be chill and not crazy, but it's consumed my life just like oval used to.
Yeah.
And if you want to compete at anything, I mean, it's got to kind of, there's no way around it. But I think oval kind of declined just because the competitiveness, all the classes that were being added kind of diluted it. There's too many classes. Like oval was the biggest when there was 6L mod and 6L stock.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think all the classes, people couldn't compete in some of the upper classes, so they would create a new class and move to that. And
now there's
then
13, 15 classes.
The really serious people with small turnouts. They're like, why am I spending 50 hours a week wrenching on this shit after work to compete against the same 4 people?
Exactly.
So I mean, I think that could happen with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
my only take on that, the one thing I seen is, I'll be honest, like how much better the cars got. So the huge difference in like performance. I mean, imagine if drag racing, like you never spun a tire. So then that just turned into all horsepower.
That's 13.5 right now.
Yeah.
But it's like the stock class.
Yeah. So. But oval in that way turned into it with, I think, all the classes, even modified. I mean, the snowboard guys now, I mean, they pretty much just run wide open for 4 minutes. And if you don't annihilate your car, you don't annihilate your car. Like, things to me.
It's not like when we used to run 2 cells with 3 turns.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
That was fun.
Yeah. But the problem is there's only like 3 people or 5 people that could actually hang on to them. Like Boylan insisted in making 10-car mains that should have been like 6-car mains,
6-car mains would have been good for Pro Mod.
Yeah. So, but that's the only thing I've seen is like in the on-road stuff. And it's kind of the stuff I was looking at, like with these 12 scale bodies back here. I mean, I think you can even see hanging up how much shorter that thing I made.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Versus like, so just as the aero gets more aggressive, they get, more up on the nose, or, they're just more violent to drive and hang on to. And I think all the classes have gone that way. I mean, even if you look at the Pro Mod oval cars, the body scraping, the body stood up on their nose, the hood's all knuckled under and all that stuff. Yeah, like that.
Like that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. They're worse than that now. Take another 1/4 inch off of that.
That's insane. But you know what? I don't get. This body's like 10 years old, and they're still running the same body.
Yeah.
I mean, the body was really good for its time. That was like one of Dale Epp's masterpieces. But
yeah,
I mean, if there was interest in oval, there'd be new bodies and all kinds of shit like that.
That's true as well. You would have more manufacturer involvement.
Yep. Whereas drag racing, these manufacturers are popping shit out as fast as they can.
Yeah.
They can't keep anything in stock.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's finally a segment that's actually growing in RC.
It's awesome.
I think off-road stuff has probably stayed fairly fairly level as it usually does. It has cycles, but for the most part, it's pretty constant. The on-road stuff to me is taken a hit the last few years.
Yeah.
It has moments of resurging and then kind of going away, but this is by far the biggest explosion that we've had in RC in a long time is with the drag racing stuff. So
it's new and exciting,
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, you're outside doing it. You enjoy the weather outside. It's nice, man. Hang out outside on a nice day. Everyone's in a better mood than inside of a building sniffing Paragon.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though I like that smell still. So
I mean, that right there.
yeah, that's the stuff.
Every once in a while, I just got to crack it and, okay, let's do some work.
Yeah. Make you feel like you're at the track.
Yeah. All right. So anybody else have any questions on the chat here? It's been an hour. I'm sure Lindsay and the kids would probably like to see Frank for a little bit before everybody starts messaging him setup questions or anything like that.
It's all good.
If anybody else watching has any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. Let me check the other one here. See, this is one thing I haven't done many of these that are back and forth between the two. So there's like a there's like a YouTube chat.
Okay.
And I've never tried this, so if it jacks everything up, we'll see. I don't know.
Give it a whirl.
So there's like a YouTube chat, and there's like a Facebook chat, and I think most everybody's on Facebook. Facebook chat. I think most everybody's on. Yeah, turn that off. I was echoing. Okay. So the question was actually posted in here, and it showed up in the other one also. So it like shares it across the two. Cool. That's cool. I can turn that off. Oh, Dustin says, you coming to Wisconsin next weekend? Yep. Yeah, you're going next week. That's next weekend, right?
I think he's asking you. He knows I'm going.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I ain't going anywhere.
Come on, I'll pick you up on the way.
No, dude. No, I got other stuff I got to do.
Yeah.
Priorities. I got to finish my damn garage. Dude, trust me.
Shit sit.
Trust me, when my garage is done, you're going to dig it.
Get into this drag stuff while it's hot, man.
So, just in case anybody doesn't know, I don't know if you can see it. Me, like a dumbass, lifted something heavy, and I tore my bicep off my arm there. So I finally have full motion, but I'm up to a whopping 4 pounds with some of my exercises. That's when you know you're strong, is when you got the 4-pound dumbbells out and you're breaking a sweat after 4 reps and you want to die.
Can you pull a trigger?
I can pull a trigger. That's the same.
Let's go.
So, but I got to get my garage done because you'll like this one. So I actually I think I took the paper back upstairs. I had to call the city today because of doing the work on my garage. And well, with all this damn rain and the way my backyard is, like backyard's been a lake.
Nice.
So I put like a carport tent thing up in front of my garage, emptied a bunch of crap into it.
Do they want you to pull a permit for your carport?
No, they sent me like a notice, like I got to take my shit down in 10 days or they're finding me for a public nuisance.
Get that eyesore out of this neighborhood.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute, the dude next to me, he's got like 12 these tent things all around his house and all over his backyard. They use it as a grow lab for something.
Nice.
It smells kind of stinky every once in a while outside.
Perfect.
But yeah, it's outstanding. So it's like, what the hell? Let's see. What else we got in here? I got 2 words for you guys. Classic hobbies.
Ooh, Akron, Ohio.
I miss that bank track. I love that place. I don't know if you did, but I love that place.
You know, I never really got everything perfect there. I think the best I ever finished there was 2nd in Pro Mod.
Okay.
My brother Michael won a couple races there, I think, in 19 turn.
I always remember that place because of how bad my stuff was, but how fast it was. So I remember like I TQ'd 6L mod the one year, and I had double swizzle sticks on the rear pod with purple stuff in them. Nice. So you're like in no tweak screw on the left side of the T-bar. So the right one was just buried, and you like take pod and turn it and just watch it like it took like 5 minutes for the pod to come all the way back. And I remember
right front tires.
I don't even remember what tires were on it. I just remember
right front.
I remember Steve Fume, Father Fume, walking over to me, picks up my car, looks at it, or asks me if he can see it. I hand him my car. He starts playing with it for a minute. This is the biggest shit box I have ever seen in my life. Peter, you are doing a great job making this thing go fast.
Nice.
But the messed up part about that car was it like go in the corner, and because the everything was so thick, it would like carry the inside rear tire down into the banking.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden it would hit and just launch straight off the corner.
Yeah.
And Jim like made me work on it for like 2 days trying to fix it, and I kept fixing it, and I just went slower. I'm like, screw it. I put it back, and
Nice.
I TQ'd and then got radio glitches in the main. I think Palomita one.
I was always fast as shit there, but I would dump with 15 seconds to go. Every time. I had like a rocket every race, and then I'd dump. So I think I had the wrong wind for that track or something. I don't know.
Could be.
Yep. Or the car was too bound up, something. Scrubbing.
Yeah.
It was fast, though.
There was some good races there. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, another one. Anyone besides me miss brush motors and non-lipo batteries?
Nope.
No. I kind of do. I miss race management.
Yeah,
I was always really good at that.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of miss that.
Between route heats and all that, I don't know.
Yeah, this is definitely a lot easier in that respect. But
I've never been a motor guy. I've always been like a chassis guy. So
yeah, but you've always had more horsepower than me usually. You were better at that stuff than I was. What's that?
I knew the right people. And good motor guys.
Yeah, I miss the race management stuff. That's probably why I still enjoy like the nitro racing, just because it was more about running pace. Bill Johnson says, pretty sure Mike Valentine still eats winter grinding lifesavers because they taste like Paragon. Mike Valentine better believe it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nick asking me, how can I get my garage done if I can't lift anything? Very carefully. I got a left arm, and I got my wife's dad and stepdad have been coming and helping, and of course Angel and the girls have actually been really helpful. So it was kind of, I don't know, weird, embarrassing watching them load all the drywall in the truck when I was in my sling, and everybody kind of looking at me like, why the hell aren't you, what are you doing? And then they could kind of like see that I was in a sling, and they're like, oh, why are they buying drywall and the dude's in the sling type of a thing. So, but we got 2 walls done full with drywall, insulation, all that. Third one's full insulation. I just got to do up around the garage door a little bit with some insulation and drywall that in and finish up the ceiling and some insulation up there, and ordered my lights and all that stuff. So we're almost to the point to where I can start building shelves to mount up on the walls and get that sucker cleaned up and ready for business, ready to start making some stuff. So
get a little area to start finishing that drag car out.
Well, that'll still be done down here for now. But I'm actually going to start I'm buying all the fixture and template crap and different woodworking tools. So I'm going to try and make my own cabinets.
Nice.
For the garage. And a bunch of crazy stuff. I always like making stuff.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things that I think I miss from RC is like the painting and Dremelin crap and just making dumb stuff to try and play with. So I thought, I'm going to get all the woodworking tools and I'm going to make some cabinets, and if it all turns out good, If it sucks, then Angel will make me buy cabinets for inside the house.
You sound bored, man. I'm going to pick you up on the way to Wisconsin. You got way too much.
No. I got way too much mess. Trust me, you'll pull up. I'll walk you through the garage into the house and then down into the half basement and into my basement. And you'll be like, you need to stay. You got a lot of shit to do. This is bad. So trust me, there's you got to remember,
right, get that stuff done so we can go race.
I went from my house or my apartment to my parents' place to a bunch of people passing away to here. So I got everybody's crap. I got a bunch of family and friends that passed away stuff, and I have my stuff plus the stuff that my mom didn't want and when she moved out of that house. So we have like just piles of boxes that we kind of look at each other and we're like, what's that? I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't have any room. So it's like we're like maybe 40% hoarder house type of look right now, and that's I can't handle that.
Get it all done, because once you start drag racing, you're not going to have time for any of that stuff.
All right. Well, now that my arm's back working, I can do that. So So let's see.
And it's not because it's not because you want to do the drag stuff so much as you get addicted to it and you have to do it because you're constantly chasing better and faster.
Yeah.
And faster.
Yeah. I'll start chasing numbers and not sleeping at night. And
not even that. I mean, you chase the number and then you get there. Then you got to chase doing it every pass.
Yeah.
You know, to do it once ain't shit. You got to do it like every pass, all day, every day.
Yeah.
You know, that's where it gets difficult. Anyone can go throw a number down.
Yeah.
But once you start getting into the setups where the car needs to be consistent and do the same thing every pass to win some races, that's where the hard work comes in. And that's what'll get you motivated to put so much work and time into it. You know, people, I know you know. So
yeah, I know me also. That's
if it does it once and not twice.
But that's one of the things why I don't want to do it, because I know how OCD I can get with that kind of stuff, and it's not healthy for me right now. I got to do other stuff. I got too much I want to take care of, and you know.
Ask me how many times I've been on the big boat this summer.
I know once because I've seen some pictures. That's it. That's it.
Yep.
Oh man.
I know. Yep.
That's brutal.
I know.
Look at drag cars away and go out on the boat at least before it starts snowing.
I can't. We talked about a number I got to hit this summer.
You got that drug. All right, couple more. Is Big John Zubak faster now that he is losing his hair?
No.
Okay.
He's fast, but he's always been fast, you know.
Thoughts on 1/12 rubber tires?
For wheelie bar wheels?
Exactly. No. I'll talk about that one another day. Frank don't care about no stupid rubber tires on a 12 scale car.
I hate rubber tires in general, man. I can't believe I glue tires and shit now.
We're probably a professional. Probably really good
at
it
now. Hundreds of pairs of tires.
I'll take all the ones that are out around that are rejects.
You can have them.
Because where is it? Did she leave it down here? So my kid's got her stupid $320 goalie stick that it's so light that we're going to put a counterbalance in the plug in the top of it because she's like, it feels so weird because it's so light. It doesn't feel right. So like a usual scientist here, I grabbed my scale and a bunch of other stuff and started marking it in center points. And I've been putting different weighted plugs in it to help, you know, because they're 120-pound girls, not us. So, you know, when it sticks off on balance by a few inches, it feels really funny. And
that right there is why you've been a successful RC racer.
Yeah.
Because you're not wired right.
No.
Nope.
I can admit that. But it's okay. But I will say this much. That is the one nice part about the hockey stuff, which is maybe why I have some excitement for this stuff again. Is I go there, I sit, I drink my hot chocolate, and you're like, hey, Anna's dead. Hey, Allie's dead.
You can just turn off.
No setup questions. Nobody asking me nothing. Nobody cares. So I'm just another fat guy in the stands with a hot chocolate.
Yeah.
It's good. Let's see. What else? Oh, wow. We got Gregory Qualls on here even talking about his turbo dyno.
Old school.
Check that out. Yeah. Speak for yourself. I can't get a number. What is he talking about? What are you talking about, Nick? I don't know. I must have missed it. I missed it. Did I miss it? Wow. Anyway. All right. So, anything else? How fast? Let's put it this way. What's your prediction?
For what?
So how fast are you going to run by Halloween?
Oh, man, I don't want to say that before all these big races coming up.
Come on. You gotta call your shot. Yeah.
No, I got to leave a little of the street
Point to the bleachers.
I got to leave a little of the street racer in me.
Ah. How many hours?
Can't say it.
No?
I know how fast we're going to go. I just can't say it.
I think Nick just insulted you.
Uh-oh.
Nick says Frank goes 169 at 75. I mean, he corrected himself real quick. He is sorry, 85. Valentine says 165. 1.69 at 75. He says, sorry, 85. So based on what you've run already, that would be only gaining on the top end. I think you can gain more
everywhere.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So no predictions, huh? No calling shots. No pointing to the bleachers.
Nah, I don't want to do. I don't want to jinx myself.
All right.
But I've got a lot of cool stuff to play. A lot of cool toys to play with coming up soon. So.
All right.
I think some of this stuff's gonna be like, wow.
Well, I still stand by my prediction.
Yeah, it's gonna be around there.
So if anybody doesn't know, my prediction was by the end of the year, the fastest time would be like 86 miles an hour with like a 156, I said?
No, we're not gonna go that quick. I'll tell you that.
No?
Yeah.
Even on a good track?
I don't know. That's gonna be stretching.
You can do it.
We're trying, man.
I have faith.
Got all kinds of wild stuff in the works to try, so it could happen, but I don't know. That's stretching a little.
Let's see. Just getting into the RC drag stuff. Any tips for box stock class? What's that? There's a box stock.
There's different box stock rules at different tracks right now. Box stock's usually either the DR10, the Traxxas truck, the Low C22. Is there another one, or is that it? Is it 3 of them? I think there's 3, but they're the box stock cars that come from the factory. But they're all 3 different speeds, which kind of sucks. Like the DR10's got one system in it that's kind of slower than the Traxxas. Then the Low C's got a different type of motor in it. So you can't really run them all together in the same class unless you take that car and stick like a Hobby Wing Just Spec ESC in it or something with like a 17.5 or a 13.5 or something. And then you can race them all together. But the way they come out of the box, really, they're not on par with each other. So you can't really have a class like that. Unless this is a whole nother box of can of worms, but you can start with like bracket racing and bracket race the 3.
Okay.
But bracket racing, in my opinion, should be left for beginners, like people just starting out.
Okay.
To get their feet wet.
Yeah.
If you start letting the people that are super serious racers,
they're going to sandbag.
There's going to be no place for the new people to begin racing.
Yeah.
And there needs to be somewhere for new people to start racing.
Yeah, they'll know how to. All right, take the high point down a couple clicks or whatever to, a little bit off, and then we'll put that back in for the next round or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, 13.5, man. I think that's a good class. These cars are all so close in 13.5. I think that's a great starter class. The cars are easy to drive. They're running like 50 mile an hour, which is still fast enough to have fun. I think that's like right now I look at drag racing compared to how we used to look at oval. I look at 13.5 like 6L stock, and I look at outlaw as 6L mod. I mean, 2 classes. Both with big entries. It's. Yeah. And back in the day, if someone was just starting locally, they'd run 6L stock and get their feet wet and either stay there and have fun or move up to mod. And
so is that what most of the big races are? Is 13.5 in the open?
Most of the big races have just been outlaw. Tech for 13.5, I could see being a nightmare at some big races, but they do run it at some of the larger events.
Okay.
Scotty's race has a couple weird classes. He didn't want to deal with the tech in 13.5 from what I heard. So he's running the normal outlaw class, and he's running a class called Super Sport, which is basically outlaw with no wheelie bars and no pro mod bodies.
Really?
Yeah. So we're going to test one of those tomorrow and break some shit, possibly.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
But that'll be a fun class. And he's running a couple ready to run classes. Like, he's running a class for all the low Cs.
Okay.
Box stock. And then I think he's got another one maybe for the Traxxas. I haven't paid too much attention to those classes, but
okay. So
he's got a box stock class for just one specific brand of cars. I think the low Cs.
So he split them up then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't run the 3 different brands together because they're different speeds.
Okay. That's cool.
Maybe locally. I mean, if you're just having fun, some new guys come out to race, you know.
Yeah.
But
That's cool. That's
Yep.
cool. Nice. What do you think? That's
Any more questions, or we bore everybody enough?
I don't know. I think everybody's kind of stopped here. I think. What's the preferred ESC? What do you primarily see at most of the races so far?
Man, there's a few really good ones. I run the Hobby Wing. It's a little trickier to tune, but I think it makes the most raw power out of all the ESCs. Like turn for turn, like you know what I mean. Like there's a reason all these stock on-road cars run Hobby Wings.
Yeah,
you know they make big power. That's a good one. The DRK, the McLaren DRK, that's probably the easiest speed controller to go fast with, in my opinion.
It's got the one that has like shift points to it or something.
Yep. You can set the percentages for the stages, and they've got like slew rate for the timing and all that fun stuff. So that's a really good one. A lot of people are going fast with it. They keep improving it. They've got a good group of racers that are constantly updating the changes to the software and everything. So,
gotcha.
That's a good ESC. The Tekin's been fast. You know, a lot of the West Coast guys like the Tekin.
Yeah.
I think those three, the R1, can't forget the R1. People have been fast on the R1.
Okay.
So I'd say those 4 Speedos, in my opinion, are the 4 best right now.
Okay.
And I've ran them all. So that's coming from experience.
Okay. What's up, Kelso? You missed everything, dude. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. Go rewind. Let's see. Kenny, don't see any rail running. Why?
Are you talking about like the direct drive dragsters?
Yeah, is that what you're talking about, Kenny? Like
prep track drag cars?
Yeah, like Top Fuel cars or that kind of, like Top Fuel. Yeah,
we'll assume that's what he's talking about. I think a lot of the tracks, the no prep stuff kind of took over. Everybody that was doing that is doing no prep.
What about building no prep rail?
With the direct drive stuff, you need a prep track to run on.
Okay.
So it's no different than running indoor stadium trucks. You need a facility, that you can prep. And those tracks, I think, have been struggling since this no prep stuff came out.
Gotcha.
And people can go test anywhere they want, and they can hold races on a Tuesday night in a parking lot,
Yeah.
So how's that other stuff going to survive?
I'm just surprised they haven't done like a direct drive rail, without the prep or any of that stuff. I don't know if it would be just to have that Top Fuel class look to it, or if it's just not that interesting. Everybody prefers this stuff.
I think this stuff kind of relates to like the real street outlaw cars,
Okay.
Like the TV show that everyone sees on Discovery Channel, and these real cars, they're relatable.
Yeah.
They got some cool bodies out for these things. Like when I first seen them, I'm like, wow, those things are cool as hell. I need to get one. I was going to get one to stick it like in my office on the shelf.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, here we are.
Yeah, with an Armada. And
yep.
The house racing and
all kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good.
Yeah. So I mean, who knows where it's going to go? But currently, I like that there's only two main classes. Keep it simple. Don't dilute the.
It doesn't need 13.
Leave everything. Yeah, 13.5 and outlaw, man. That's stock and mod.
Yeah. But I mean, it doesn't need the 13 classes like snowboard.
No.
For each segment and all that stuff.
No, keep the 2 and get in where you fit in.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
Have fun.
All right. You want to give any props to any sponsors or any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, they all know who they are.
All right. Might as well.
Yeah, I run the stuff. I put the stickers on. Anyone have any questions? Give me a shout, man. I hashtag everything.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So. All good. All right. Well, when you go out to Wisconsin, say hi to Scotty and all the guys for me.
Will do, man. You're gonna miss Charlie. Charlie will be there from Hobby Wing.
Oh boy.
Yeah. He's fun.
I might just have to call him, prank him again.
Yeah, if you get done with the basement, you can always hitch a ride.
Yeah. Did you heard about me crank calling him when he was doing Novak support, right?
Yeah, I heard that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie's my buddy.
He's cool. He's fun.
Yeah.
I always notice, like, if I get too serious at the track, I'll just go talk to Charlie, and I'll start having fun. Like in Vegas, we went to dinner with him and Scotty. It was a good time.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, regardless, I'm hoping that hockey schedule doesn't align itself with every race weekend like it has the last 2 years, which I'm sure it will. But hopefully it doesn't, and I can at least stop out and see everybody once or twice at a few different tracks or whatever over this year. So it'd be fun.
Yeah. Give me a call whenever, man. We'll go out.
Dumb question. Did you ever compete with Masami? I don't think Frank did. I did.
I haven't.
Yeah,
I ran on road. I ran a little on road, but nothing like you.
Yeah.
I was carpet oval.
Yeah, I ran against him before. Yeah. So I'm trying to think. First time I ran against him was maybe 1994? 96. No, 94. I think the 12 scale worlds in France was actually one of the first times I raced with him, and he didn't have a Protoform P35 Nissan, and he wanted to try one. So he ran my paint job and liked it and ran my body the rest of the weekend.
Nice.
That was my first interaction with Masami at a race, as like being on the same team with him or racing with him against him type of thing. So it was really strange because I was second in the B and he was second in the A. So I was marshaling my body. It was weird. So, well. All right, man, I'll let you get back to the family.
All right.
I'm going to go upstairs and laugh at mine because they had hockey camp today, so they're hobbling around the house all stiff and sore. So
I'm going to try sneak past them down to the basement to work on some stuff.
All right. Well, good luck with that. We'll catch you later, Frank.
Later.
Yep. Have a good one.
Yep. See ya.
See ya, everybody.